Okay, hi. It's been like almost 2 weeks since I made a video, which is because last 2 weeks were my last 2 weeks of work, so I didn't really do anything. But I just wanted to make a quick video because like I said before, I was kind of refining my packing list, and I was looking at A, phones, and B, the plug adapters and converters. So I guess I'll start with the electronics that you're going to be bringing. That's probably going to be these to explain. Deciding on whether or not you need a converter. You're going to need an adapter, obviously, because they don't have these outlets in the UK. But their outlets also run on different voltage than they do in the US. So you need to check your devices to see whether or not you need to have a converter for a voltage converter, which is really easy to do, and I finally looked it up to see how you get it done. And basically what you just need to do is you need to check on either the outlets or the devices themselves to see what voltage they have. And if it the most important thing to look for is it needs to have at least 240 voltage on there. A lot of them will say, like, let's see, my iPhone charger, this is the newer version of it. It has on here 100 through 240 voltage. So that one will be fine. I won't need a converter for. And, you know, same thing with other devices like hair products. My flat iron is a necessity for me. Mine says right on the inside, like right in here where all the writing is, and that also goes from 110 to 240 voltage, so that one's going to be fine as well. Laptops are pretty much, I would imagine most people are going to be bringing laptops if you have them, because, you know, for school it's a pretty big necessity. That you're going to find on the box part of the charger, and I'll see if I can kind of show you. I don't know how well it's going to show up here. Okay, you can you read it, maybe? And it's going to say, like, right here where the voltage is. It's really small, so you probably can't read it. But here it says 100 to 240 voltage. So that means that for my laptop charger, I'm not going to need a converter. So I went through all my devices and did that, and I found out, sorry, I'm going to plug this back in, the only thing I'm going to need a converter for is my hairdryer, which for most hairdryers, I would imagine, that's the one thing that I heard most about that most people needed converters for, because my hairdryer, see if I can find where it says it, it only has 125 voltage written on it in the bottom, which again, you probably can't see right there, maybe. But, so for this one, I'm going to need a converter and an adapter for. And so I was doing some research online, and I'll post the link to, like, the message board I was looking at in the description. And it was just kind of explaining how to look for converters and what you would need for it. So there's two different types of converters. There's transformers and converters. And depending on how much wattage your device uses, that's how you're going to determine what kind you should buy. So let's see. If your product doesn't say how many watts it uses, which I don't think this one does, you just use a simple conversion. It will say the voltage and it will say the amps that it uses, so you just multiply those to get how many watts it is, and I haven't done that yet, so see, mine is 125 voltage times 15 amps. Okay, so my hairdryer uses 1,875 watts. So that's going to need a higher wattage converter. So the transformers generally are used for the low wattage products that are like 50 watts or less. So I know that when I'm looking for a converter for this, I need to find something that can handle high wattage devices. Otherwise, it can do damage to your device, whatever it is. So that's something important to look at. It's explained in way more detail on the page that I'm going to post. So if you read through that, it makes it really easy to understand. So I mean, it took me like 2 minutes to kind of get the gist of it all. Okay, as for phones, phones are going to be tricky because for the most part, I know a lot of like US phone providers have like international plans. My advice, don't use them. It's going to be way overpriced. You're going to be there for 9 months. You are going to want to try and save money anyway. And as for me, I have an iPhone. But my iPhone, for one, it's not a 4S. And it is not over 16 gigabytes. So it doesn't have a SIM card slot, and I'm not going to be able to use this overseas. Because in order to use an iPhone overseas, you need to get it unlocked, which you need a 4S for, and you need a SIM card slot for, and Sprint doesn't have SIM card slots for this version. And I go through Sprint. So what I did is I got, I had a free upgrade, to see if I can find out where there it is. I had a free upgrade, and so what I did is I just got, this was no cost to me with my upgrade, it was free. And I just got a Motorola Expert, which is one of Sprint's international phones. And the reason why I can use it when I'm overseas is because it has a SIM card slot right there. You can get a SIM card in there. So this is my advice for phones, what I'm going to do. And this is for Sprint, mind you. I don't know how any other providers work, if they have a similar kind of deal you can do. But what I'm going to do is basically, I am going to I want to keep my number in the US. So rather than just shutting my line down, I'm going to put it on something that Sprint calls seasonal standby, which it still charges like $9 a month, but it's a lot better than, paying full price for your whole phone every month while you're not even using it. And what seasonal standby does is it keeps your line yours, so you keep your number and everything like that, but it doesn't have any services connected to it. And so it's not usable, but it's still reserving your number for you. And then, so that kind of takes care of my phone bill for while I'm away. However, the seasonal standby only does it in 6-month chunks, so after the first 6 months you have to call in again, because it'll come off of seasonal standby, so you have to call in again and then put it back on seasonal standby, which isn't too bad. I set mine to just turn off on September 1st, so I wouldn't have to remember some crazy date, and I know it's the first of 6 months, away. So then I got this phone, which is the Expert, and all you have to do is, I called in, because I wasn't sure, I had heard a bunch of different things from different Sprint, representatives. I heard that you had to call in and enter a code to switch the mode on it. I heard that you had to actually activate the phone, but I got it all cleared up. Basically, all you have to do when you get there is you turn the phone on, and then you go into settings, and you want to make sure that it's on GSM, and the GSM setting, basically, and then you can use any third-party SIM card in here. So I could take this Sprint SIM card out, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the prepaid SIM cards that you can buy overseas. And this was a discussion that my classmates and I had, and we kind of compared the pros and cons of all of them. You can't get a phone contract because you need to be a resident for at least 3 years. So prepaid SIM cards are the best way to go, especially if you already have a phone with a SIM card slot. Then you don't have to worry about actually buying a physical phone and a pay-as-you-go plan there. So what we had found was, excuse me, they have on the network 3, they have the prepaid SIM cards, and you can get, well, let me just check the details of it one more time. There is, where'd it go? A pay-as-you-go SIM card that is £15 a month, which is roughly $30 a month, and you get unlimited data, which is the biggest thing for me, because the biggest thing that I'm going to be using my phone for is GPS, because I know I'm going to get lost at least once, if not a lot more. So GPS, and my phone is GPS enabled, it's an Android network phone. So it has unlimited data, 3,000 texts per month, and how many minutes? 300 minutes. So that, for me, is plenty, because I'm not going to be using the minutes and text as much, because I don't know as many people with UK phone numbers. But the unlimited data is huge for me. Plus, when you have unlimited data, you can download apps like Tango, or, oh god, was like a Viper or something, Viper phone, and you can make calls to the US for free. Same with like if you did Skype. But yeah, that's pretty much like the best way to go is to look into the prepaid SIM cards and getting a phone with the SIM card slot if you're with Sprint. So, yeah, that's about it. I just want to kind of put in my 2 cents for as far as electronics, plugs, adapters, converters, and phones go, because those are some big things that you're going to have to kind of work out. So hopefully that helps you in your process. I know me and my classmates on Facebook really talked this out for a long time before we all kind of figured out what was going on with it all. So anyway, I'll probably be making another video this weekend talking about the rest of my packing endeavors or whatever else. But thanks for watching. I'll talk to you later.